Hello, Natalie.
Hello and a warm welcome to the Christmas 2024 VM Collective broadcast. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Natalie Weeks and I'm Head of VM and Store Development for International Markets. Joining me on the call is the brilliant Caroline Barnett, Laura Stevens and Jess Marshall from the VM Collective team. Today we want to bring you on the journey of Christmas. Hopefully by now you will have downloaded the VM Shelf Love Guide and Prop Guide and started to familiarise yourself with these. Over the next half an hour or so, we will walk you through some key aspects of these support tools to help you get the most out of them. As always, the chat function will be open for any comments or questions you may have. We want to hear from you. We won't be answering these questions during the call today, allowing you to focus on the information we're sharing. But later this week, we'll share the answers along with this presentation and the recording. So let's take a look at the agenda. Next slide, please. Bear with us.
Oopsie.
Okay, thank you, Caroline. To kick us off, Caroline will present the VM strategy and walk us through each of the VM props. This should help you with any budgeting decisions you may need to make. We will also visit a virtual store and experience the full Christmas customer journey. Laura will then introduce you to the new principal-led VM, and Jess will talk through some key opportunities for the makeup stand. We will finish with an overview of the VM toolkits available to you and your market teams. And as I mentioned, please use the chat function for any questions you have, so we can collate these after the call and come back to you with the answers as soon as possible. Okay, I now hand over to Caroline. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Well, just thank you for joining the call. It is so exciting to present Christmas to you. As Nat said, I'm Caroline and I head up Christmas. I've been doing this for a couple of years, and each year there are lots of similarities, but also every year there are lots of differences. And this year is like no other. Lots of changes, lots of newness, lots of exciting. So thanks, Nat, for the introduction. And as Nat said, I'm going to take you through the overarching VM strategy, what we've done this year for Christmas, what we're going to hand over to you guys in market to take on and then execute in store. And we'll show you how that's come together before I then hand on to Laura. So I can't seem to steer this morning at all. Right. I just thought we'd start with some of the words that came to mind when we set off on the journey of bringing Christmas to life in our mock shop in Watersmead. You know, what was the brief? What were we tasked to do? And these are some of the words that I came up with as I was thinking about the journey that we took to get to the VM solution. So we really, really, really want this Christmas to be fun. We want it to be impactful, and we want customers to take away memorable experiences. We need it to be simple. In retail, we have lots of competition, and we need to make sure that our customers can easily navigate our stores through a simple, effective and festive experience. But also for our store teams, it's really important every year that we respect our workforce who are actually on the front line in our store, and that we ask them to set up a Christmas that they can work with, that they can really use as a tool to trade through Q4. So those are some of the words, and they are in our bright and engaging yellow colour, which is one of the key colours this Christmas. So we hope that you enjoy what you're about to see, but also that you can also connect with some of this language that we're using this year. So here we go. Here is the store this Christmas. I'd like to, before we get into the detail, just explain that this is an example of a store. This is not what every store will look like, but it does illustrate to you the pieces and parts that we have designed and constructed. And we're going to take you through the the strategy of how we built this, how we came to this, and give you some of the context of why the store looks the way it does. I don't know if Phil Ransom is on the call. I do not know because I can't see. But I do, first of all, have to give a huge thank you to Phil, who has built the most amazing three-dimensional virtual store. So to create this, we have used Phil's store, and we have built the pieces and parts and we have put them in the store. So I've taken frames from the store, and this is what I'm going to bring to you today. So let's start on the left-hand side in the window. So imagine you are a customer and you are in a busy high street or a busy mall, and you are approaching the Body Shop for possibly the first time on your journey as a customer. So on the left, you can see the Christmas window, which has a very colourful, vibrant, energetic, high impact poster. There are, as you may be aware, a number of different posters available on the Hive, but I'm bringing Hey Good Gifter to you this morning. And we really feel that this is actually a move on as a brand in terms of the colours we're using, the vibrancy this Christmas, and we've gone for a really contemporary and exciting feel. So you're looking at a window that is more elevated, almost reaching into the realms of flagship. There is lighting, so you will see later in the props how we have used this. There's also a three-dimensional contemporary Christmas tree built out of circles. So the design of Christmas was built on a series of concentric circles, and we have utilised those in some of the Christmas props. And we've also taken the colour story and we've built that into the Christmas props to create a composition that brings a marketing message to our customers, a vibrancy and an energy, but also gift displays. It's a really brilliant platform to focus on best-selling product all throughout Q4. So wherever you are in your phase of Christmas, we've designed windows that are agile enough to display any product from gift to most loved across all categories. And we really feel that we're bringing an abundance to these windows. They're joyful, they are exciting. And then on the right, you're entering the store and you can start to see the vibrancy of the colour and the props and some of the Christmas cues, which are more traditional, and some of those Christmas cues that perhaps are more contemporary. So using colour and shape to really help the store pop and come to life. So as we focus a little bit more onto the window, you can see some of the smaller signage as well. So things like gifts from, making sure that we are communicating with our customer, that we have a variety of price points. We also know that in markets, you will take this framework and you will build windows that speak to your customer. We are in the belief that not one size of shoe, or whatever you want to say, fits all. And we have built and designed pieces and parts that you can take and build a Christmas window that suits your customer. So you can select from the posters that we've designed, you can select from the props, and of course you have your own product assortment, you have your own commercial needs. But we believe that these windows that we've designed will meet you and your customer on that journey. And as I said, as you move into the store, you can see these colorways coming through. So let's get a little bit closer to the table. This is an example of a primary table, or table one, as some of us call it. And this is where we've really started to bring in the strategy of the VM this Christmas. When we looked at how to bring Christmas to life this year, we wanted to try and do something a bit different, and we decided that a lot of our stores and the way they flow and the shape of them means that you don't have perhaps or shall I put it, you have an opportunity to really bring excitement and drama to pockets of the store. So rather than treat the store as a one, we wanted to break up the customer journey and bring mini shop-in-shops into our bigger store environment. So we've started this with table 1. So it takes on the guise of almost like a market stall. So you come in and already the feeling of being in this shop feels different. We've used a canopy, which Laura will take you through, a display bar. We've brought some fun in with our papier-mâché reindeer, which obviously fits with the design of the copy on this particular table feature sign. And we've brought to life the display of gifts on this table using a variety of display props. And there are lots and lots of designs and elements that Laura will share a little bit later. But what we were trying to do was bring impact and life to the front of the store. We wanted the customer to feel different as they entered the Body Shop this year, and we wanted to bring them something that was fun and joyful and more of the spirit of the Body Shop that we know and love, and that our customers know and love. You could start to see to the left, there is a secondary table. This one in this example focuses on building a gift, and it's got a different colorway, but it sits within that color palette. And then up on the left and the right, you can start to see how we've brought in the canopy, which brings to life a shop-in-shop feel within our perimeter. So getting a little bit closer, you can see that we've focused our strategy on building merchandising, which talks across all price points. So every table has pricing, and it talks to a stocking filler right up into our highest gift pricing. And you can see how we're weaving through each table. Each touch point has a commercial element, but it has a colourful design element, so you know that you are in the Body Shop this Christmas. So getting closer to the perimeter, you can start to see the canopy, which attaches at the top of the bays. And we've designed this to be flexible, and we've designed it to work in your store to make sure that you can choose where you might put these shops, but also to make sure that we're bringing impact, not just to the front of the store, but we're bringing pops of colour and Christmas and navigation as we move through the store. So the customer makes their journey. Some of our stores are small, some of them are big, but they make their journey. They have a shopping list. They are looking for particular product on their list for their loved ones, friends, family. And we hope that these shop-in-shop scenarios help them to navigate, but also to help our store teams to navigate customers where they need to be. So it's always a dual tool. It means that we're serving our customer, but we're also serving our store teams who are there at the front line of engaging with customers. So as we get deeper into the store, every table has a Christmas design and element to it. We have provided a variety of different options for tables. They are all based on the marketing, so the table feature signs that are available, and these have been designed to speak to all the different categories this year, from fragrance to skincare to gift. So there are options to work with a more generic looking design this Christmas. So you'll notice there is no photography. It is very much typographically led. So what you're looking at, for example, is Merry Spritzmas. So playing on that pun of words to bring to life a category such as fragrance. But it doesn't focus on one fragrance. It has an agility and a flexibility to present any type of fragrance, any type of format of fragrance. So that gives you a flavour and an example of how agile this Christmas is. So you see the example of full flowers here, but that table feature sign will work with white musk. It would work with mists. It would work with EDTs. It would work with gifts that are about fragrance. So each table feature sign has a really wide, if I just pop back, let's just go back to the reindeer one. So no reindeers were harmed in making this good stuff. It's a really beautiful way of providing a really broad set of signage that speaks to all of our categories and doesn't contain us in one specific way, which means that if we've sold out or we've had to be tactical in our trading, we are then stuck with table feature signs that don't work for us. These table feature signs work from front to back of store. They work at any time of Christmas, and they really are really flexible. I hope you're all taking it in and having fun, because I know that we had a lot of fun designing this, and it doesn't quite do it as much justice as being in a mock shop, but we are really looking forward to seeing this come to life in stores. So I do hope you're enjoying this. It brings a lot of joy to us. So as we move further into the store, as we travel toward the back, we have, again, really, really bold and powerful designs in our assets. The table feature sign has more of that wit and language. Santa, it's not you, it's us. So really playing into also some of the challenges perhaps that a lot of the business is responding to all the time, every year. So having fun with our customers, having fun with our language, but also really bringing to life that joyful, festive feel through colour and impact. So this at the end is obviously, you can see we're toward the back of the store now. So where the customer would end their journey after purchasing, but you can also see to the left the gift wrap station. And again, we've utilised the canopy to make it visually navigable and into a destination. So when we enter the Body Shop, we want customers to feel like they are being drawn to different areas of the store, because we have created the zones that are easy to see and easy to understand what they would expect once they got there. So yeah, vibrant, lively, and as I said, this is one example of how a store could look. You see that we've started to bring in Christmas trees, little Christmas trees. We started to do this quite early on, when we were utilizing the mock shop to build this, and it actually works as a traditional cue against a contemporary design. And we know that markets will be able to take this and turn this into a reality in some stores in a way. We're not suggesting that all stores are going to look this way. We know that there are tiers of budget to get to this stage. But what we're doing is we're wanting to empower people and markets to really engage in those props and pieces and build a Christmas that works in that market and in that store. So thank you for looking through the little flip book. I know that this deck will be available, this presentation, sorry, will be available to you afterwards. So you can go back through and have a look. And I think what's going to be important as well is that we continue to share as this evolves and starts to come to life in stores, that we continue to share what that actually looks like in real life as well. And we will be filming from the mock shop. So expect more real life things to come. But let's just pause on the windows for a moment. A really, really key aspect, and a lot of you on the call are seasoned visual merchandisers, marketeers. So I'm preaching to the converted when I express how important windows are. They continue to be often the first touch point for our brand. And they continue to be an area where we have to be very careful about the budget we apply to these spaces. In an ideal world, we all have lots of budget and we can do everything we want to in the window, but we know that that's not always the case. So on screen, what you can see now is our three-tiered approach to windows. So we've tried to simplify it slightly and only focus on three clear tiered budget pieces. So we're looking at flagship, and which will be more three-dimensional. There'll be more lighting, and we're using the UK home market to design this and bring this to you. So it's not going to, the detail isn't available to you today right now, but as soon as we have it, which will be soon, we will bring that to you. And it's really a three-dimensional coming to life of the design that again could be positioned in any window, but you would have to scale it and you would have to make sure that that is a store where you would want to apply that level of budget. You then move into elevated. So we take some of those pieces from flagship, say the lighting, we scale the poster down so it becomes more standard. And then we've used the Christmas tree shape and we've actually made that into a decal, which you would apply to the glass. Or it may be that in your market, you have other innovative ways of bringing that to life in a material that you can access in your part of the world. And then finally, a standard approach. We're very aware that a lot of stores will have a very standard approach to Christmas, and it will be the poster and it will be a simple message around gift pricing and gift displays. We have got the added strap line of we've got this wrapped. I think, and again, it's a witty line to suggest that actually all your needs can be found at the Body Shop. Come in and you will find gifts for everybody. So we have designed all the pieces for the windows that can be selected to build from flagship to elevated to standard. And we know that you are experts out there, so we look forward to seeing those soon. And before I hand over to Laura, we just wanted to look at what a two-windowed store would be. You know, so how does that come to life? What do we need to make this work? Two windows can often be quite challenging, but they also can be an opportunity to tell a story, to bring some engagement into that front centre of our stores. And this year, we've provided a secondary window which has more theatre and drama in it. We were in the mock shop and we were playing with all the props that we had and thinking, what can we do that feels different? How can we make an aspect of the front of our store work harder, but also how can we bring that human element to the front of our store? How can we bring energy and movement? So we created a wrapping station that can be mobile. So you can see here it's utilizing a workshop trolley, but it could be a pulse table nest. It can be what you want it to be, has to be safe. I just need to cover that. But we really do hope that as many stores as possible will be able to engage in bringing theatre to their secondary windows. Some people may be able to bring it to a primary window because they have the space. If we look at some of our very large stores, such as Stratford in London, our store windows are huge, and you could bring in the main campaign window and bring in a wrapping station that moves in and out of that space depending on how busy the store is and the attention that you're wanting to attract. But what we want to do with windows primarily is drive customers over the threshold. They are there to engage, they are there to attract, and they are there to draw your customer in over the threshold and into our store so that they can really find all those gifts that they want this year, all those products. So that, I hope, brings you some of the way the store has been brought to life, the strategy around building colour impact at the front and then bringing in the shop-in-shops for navigation. And you'll see, of course, more traditional visual merchandising elements. We haven't necessarily moved completely away from those, but having fun this year, bringing a spirit to our stores, we're really excited to see. And I think I am handing over to, no, not yet. Gosh, honestly, not yet. Just before we move to Laura, just wanted to reiterate the store mapping. So you've seen the overview of the store, you've seen how we've brought that to life, you've seen the pieces around the window and how we've brought a really impactful design to the front of the store, and you've seen how we want to start engaging and bringing a bit more theatre to our window spaces. And before I hand over to Laura, I promise Laura I'm going to hand over, I just wanted to take you through an example of a store map. It's a generic example, but it gives you an aerial view of the strategy of how we have put the shop-in-shop spaces throughout that store journey. And depending on the size of the store, from large to medium to small, you will be able to fit in a number of these shop-in-shops or less so. We would love it if you could bring them first to the front of the store. We know that as customers look through the window, they can actually see into our perimeter, and it's a really exciting space to engage them, and they become curious, you know, what's going on in there? What's that fun element I can see? what's happening in the body shop this year, and they will want to come in. So in this floor map, we happen to have refill at the front of this example, so we've given that a shop in shop feel. We have positioned a stocking filler bay at the right, just before you go into the face category, and then you've got a little shop in shop for body, and we've suggested that you could focus on shea, which is a most loved ingredient, but it could be that moringa works in your part of the world and you build a body shop in shop that focuses on that ingredient. Then you can ping pong to the other side and you can see that there's a small faced gift shop. And then at the back, you can see that we've brought in that shop in shop feel for bespoke gift making. So what it does is it weaves a really interesting journey for the customer. It helps us to draw them into the store, but it helps us to highlight product and a really key commercial angle where we need to. So I definitely am handing to Laura now. So thank you for listening to me. And we are, oh my gosh, I'm not handing to Laura. Laura, honestly, it's like a tale, isn't it? First of all, as Nat said, I'm going to take you through the props. This is one of my presentations that might go down in history. Stay with me, everyone. So we're just going to run through the props. But as Nat said, there is a prop guide. I do hope you've been able to download it. But this gives you a flavour of those props. We were very resourceful this year, and on the left you can see the printed props, and we've reused some of the shapes, so we haven't redesigned cutter guides. Where we know that a shape works, we have redesigned the surface colour to fit with this year's design. And for those of you taking the poster, which is more of a tree shape, so it has the Body Shop green with the beautiful spots that make the tree, you may want to recolour some of these to fit with that. So you can take the cutter guide and do it. We've got the display cubes that we use on the table, and we've recoloured those. And then you can see at the bottom, we've got the new pieces, which are the canopy shape. There's a small and a wide, and we've brought the glorifier back, but again we've recoloured it. So where we know that something is successful and we've worked to it, we've been resourceful to re-engage it but redesign the surface colour so it fits in this year. And as Nat talked of early on, the props are all based on a budget. We all have a budget to work to, so you might look at engaging in a more elevated set of stores, maybe top 20s or 50s, and you produce props for those, and as you go down into the more standard stores, you will utilize the smaller props, so potentially table display boxes and glorifiers. But we know that there is a tier of printing these props. These props are just about available on the Hive. We are not, as you will be aware, we are not offering them out this year, but we are making sure that you've got very high grade cutters and artwork, so you can run with those and produce locally as you need to for your stores. And then the second part of the props is the locally sourced. So we've used a mixture of things this year, from a display bar that we purchased to fit onto the table, to the papier-mâché reindeer head, to lighting, trees and paper rolls. They will all be available in some way locally, and we know that you guys are experts in sourcing these. We always, where we can, make sure that we continue to use the most ethical route to source them. And we also would like to say that this year, the display bar and the lighting, especially, the tree might not make it this long, but we will look to reuse them. So the display bar, you might see that coming through more and more in 2025. Lighting, we can, when Christmas, when the doors close on Christmas Eve, we can turn those fairy lights out, we can take the batteries out or unplug them, and we can put them back in the box and put them in our stock rooms ready to bring out at another time where we need to bring that level of visual impact. So there's a variety of props. They build a story, they are budget driven. And there will be an opportunity to ask questions. I know Nat's going to cover that later, but we hope that you like them as much as we do. We really feel that they've brought some colour and flair this year. I'm not going to say I'm handing to Laura. I'm just going to say I hope I'm handing to Laura now. Get ready, Laura, because it could be happening. Ta-da! Over to you, Laura.
Yeah, you are. Thank you, Caroline. Hi, everybody. I'm Laura. I've been supporting Caroline on this year's Christmas setup, and I'm really excited to present to you today some of the ideas and some of the things that we've been working on. So now you've just seen a really nice overview of the store. Caroline's taking you through all of the props that we're utilising, and now I'm going to go through some of the principles for this year's merchandising. So on this page, you have got an overview of some examples of the tables, not all of them, but just some of them to show you guys today. The first one on the left-hand side is our all singing and all dancing elevated top tier version. So this is the one where we've got every single prop that we've developed in. We've also got extra merchandising points where we've used the cardboard display plinths, so we can really bulk up the amount of gifts and the amount of product that's on the front table. The idea here is to be, you know, a shop that really has that wow factor as soon as you walk into the store. We've utilised the canopy and also a floor decal just to really signify this is where the gifts are in store. We know not everyone is going to be able to do that this year, so we have also created the sort of more standard versions of the tables, but every single table has 3 things in common. So we've got the 3 circles at the top of the page, which you see, which sort of zooming on those 3 things. So the first one is highlighting really key giftable SKUs using our sort of signature humorous tone of voice. So, for example, they won't return this. We've also been really conscious to make sure that pricing is really clear across the whole of the store. So you'll see there's new assets, and in particular the one that we're showing here shows the price and then the contents worth. So these are for our gift sets. And then thirdly, we want to make sure that testing is still visible during Christmas, and so there is a generic testing mat which can be used throughout the store, and the copy is generic, so it can be used throughout all different ranges in the store as well, to make life easier for you guys and for the store teams. On the next slide, we go into some generic VM. So we know that this year may be slightly different for everyone. Some stores are going to have some, different stock throughout the Christmas, and we wanted to make a guide that was super generic, but easy to be read and easy to change depending on what stock you have in store. So you'll see on the table, we've just used blank bottles and blank packaging. And then on the right hand side of this page, we've got a product key. So this is where we have dropped in what product it is specific to the market. So we are working on a UK basis, but when you guys get the pack, you can then choose so this is like based on body care, for example. So you can choose what ranges you want to highlight, what you want to push on the front table, what you have plenty of stock of, and you can choose using these table layouts, but you can then choose which exact ingredients you want to display. There's also, just to try and make it a little bit easier as well, we've grouped the tables into sort of bundles. So you'll see there is section 1, section 2, and section 3. These have all been broken down on the right hand side as well to make it super easy and clear to read. And then further into that, we have broken it down again. So the red dots show the product position, and the green dots show the product quantity. Again, this is all broken down on the key. So where you see the 3 buckets, this segues really nicely into the next slide. And So it also shows how to take this example and change it into whatever shop fit you have and whatever size table you have. So those 1, 2, 3, 3 buckets are color coded, and then this transforms itself onto all the different sizes of tables that we have within the different shop fits. So it's a really flexible and easy way of being able to create a display and then having it instantly work for all of the different tables and all of the different shop fits that we have out in market. And then you've seen some of this already in the store overview that Caroline shows, but we have a few different areas in store where we really want to amp up the theatre this year. And the first one is being the create your own. So we've used this on a trolley, which is the first image you see. And this is what we're talking about. If you have space and if you have big enough windows, you can put this station in the window so that colleagues are wrapping and interacting with staff and creating theatre as our customers are walking past. We've also, if you don't have that, you may have the workshop gifting area where you can drive the same sort of experience, and you can also put in the canopy and the decal to really navigate to that area and make it a destination in store. Again, in workshop, we've got the sink. So that is another place where we have created some bespoke assets to bring the Christmas look and feel into the store. And it's, down market to market basis, you can have different activations around the sink where you can get customers involved in trialing and testing out product. And then finally, we have got the refill station, which we've Christmasified as well, using the canopy and the decal to really sort of add some more theatre to that area in store. And I think this is my final slide, but we'll see. And this is just some key principles on the perimeter in store. So by now you've all seen the canopy and floor decal, and you know that's how we're creating our gift shop and shops. But there's also some other important principles for the bays. The first one being is we've added some high level navigation into our gift shop. So you can see the asset that says, let it glow, let it go, let it glow, let it glow, gifts from X amount. And this we are putting in all of the sort of gifting areas at the top to just really sort of signify this is where you come to buy your gifts. We've got the product glorifier, as Caroline spoke about, and we are seeing this as a really great place to amp up our most loved products. So you can see here it's been positioned with Edelweiss, and we think that it's a really great sort of standout piece to drive most love during Christmas. And then finally, we are being really bold on the use of pricing. So we have the from XX price lollipops that we have put on each shelf to make it really super clear and easy for customers when they are navigating the store and when they are coming in with some specific price points to shop to and buy gifts for this year, that we have clearly displayed them. So there's a lot more in our VM principles pack for you guys to digest, but this was just some key principles from this year, and I hope it was useful for you guys. And I believe I am now handing over to Jess, who's going to take you through makeup. Yes.
I am. Thank you, Laura. Look at you lot, getting to listen to me talk about makeup to you again. So we obviously wanted to help you maximise the use of your stands this Christmas, and we've provided some options, quite a few options, with a reduced assortment using the pocket floor planogram, as you can see on the left of the slide. So we've made sure that all the options and principles can be applied to any fixture type. So that's including workshop and Make Me. And all of the detail for this can be found in the Christmas Shelf Love Guide. And believe me, it is detailed because I did it myself, piece of makeup by piece of makeup. So everything covered. So what you can see here, option 1, so you would be condensing down the makeup range, leaving space for full flowers, which is the blue square, and then on the right, and then gifts on the bottom of the shelf in the yellow section. Option 2 would be makeup in the red, musk EDTs and gift. So musk EDTs in the purple on the right, and then gift on the bottom in the yellow. So exactly the same as option 1, but if you don't have enough full flowers, you can then switch to EDTs. And then for the final option, for anybody who doesn't have enough full flowers or enough EDTs, we've got just a makeup on the left, and then full gift on the right, with gift all along the bottom. And like I said, this goes into an awful lot of detail in the full guide. So everything should be covered for you in all of the different stand types. And it definitely does work because we've done it ourselves in the mock shop. So we know that it can be condensed down and it still looks really great. And obviously you would have the posters above reflecting the range below, whether that be gift or whether that be makeup or whether that be perfume. Okay, next slide, please. And then finally, to sum up all of the absolutely mega amazing work that Laura, Caroline, Phil have all done, what is your VM toolkit consisting of this year? So the one-stop VM guide to execute Christmas for 2024, which is very detailed and wonderful, and covers all store types with clear, easy to follow guidelines, which empower store teams to own the VM in their stores, which, as you know, we all feel super passionate about and is incredibly important, especially this year. You've got Bay plans, which Laura just took us through, which are super clear. They're available from the 23rd of September. They're operational, they're editable for markets, so you can enable flexibility with stock, with ranges, what you have, what you don't have. Again, we're really happy with those, that we can get this flexibility over to you as easy as possible. And then finally, we've got the training and film. So it's all of the background info you've been provided on today's call. So regarding the Shelf Love VM strategy and the props. And as Caroline mentioned earlier, there'll be a variety of training how to film clips of us dancing around the mock shop, most likely, empowering the best in class execution with a special focus on managing stock variety, as I just mentioned. And these will be available from the 30th of September. And then I think that is all from me, and handing back over to Nat.
Brilliant, thank you. Yeah, thanks Jess, Laura and Caroline, that was great. So as mentioned, we will collate any questions and comments from the chat today and look to answer these later this week. In addition to this, we are also launching a new VM support mailbox. This mailbox is specifically for your VM queries to support you and your market teams with any questions or requests you may have when planning, implementing or maintaining a campaign. Please send all VM queries here going forward and include your market in the email title. This will help us to respond as quickly as possible. You can also use this mailbox to share proposals with us. For example, if you are running a Centre of Excellence or planning on implementing a flagship window, we would love to hear about these. This mailbox will be for all our formal communications, and we'll use this mailbox to cascade all the content from today's call. We will also continue to use the VM WhatsApp group to share VM updates and best practice photos. If you are not currently on this group and would like to be, please send your request, including your name and mobile number, to the new VM support mailbox, and we will add you. Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's session. I am now closing the call. Thanks everybody for your attention. If you have any questions after this call, please send it to our new VM support mailbox. On behalf of the team, we would like to thank you for your commitment and hard work and look forward to delivering a good Christmas for all. Thank you.